All right, friends. Welcome back to the channel. This is the third time I've tried to make this video today. I keep making silly mistakes. I don't make very many intelligent mistakes. I make a lot of stupid ones, but I seem to be exceeding expectations in that regard today, he said pompously. Let's find a place to depart from. CYXE, Saskatoon, works for me. It's where I grew up. It's where I learned how to fly. Runway 9, that's good. Let's move our start time up to daylight. I like daylight. I don't like flying at night. I'm just a famous coward, that's all. I never liked flying at night. The glare of lights bothered me or something. I just didn't have confidence, but I just stuck to daytime VFR. Occasionally IFR, meaning I follow roads, or IFRR, meaning I follow railroads, or sometimes IFRS, I follow rivers and streams. Stay with the river on your left, and you'll get to your destination. Okay, let's turn on VR. Hello. Come on, VR. Control tab.
Saskatoon Tower.
Maybe I have to hit try first. I don't think so. No, there we go. I must not have hit it properly the first time. Let's put on this Pimax Crystal Super.
Altimeter 299er2 straight out departure approved.
Should have turned
Cleared for takeoff runway 09er.
Should have turned ATR
Clear for
off.
takeoff runway 09er. Foxtrot Oscar X-ray.
All right, let's get set up in the cockpit. There we are. That looks pretty good. Let's take the park brake off. I thought I had the park brake mapped, but evidently no. Survey says no. Oh, and I seem to be in... How do I fly? Oh. It doesn't like me all of a sudden. Okay, let's... Oh, ready to fly. There's the button I need to push. Excellent. Okay, let's turn that off. Park brake is off. Yeah, this thing has toe brakes. My tri-pacer didn't. I owned a tri-pacer with a friend of mine, Cease, who was also a flight instructor and had flown everything from in the Canadian Air Force inventory from Harvards to Spitfires to Lancaster bombers through to F-86 Sabre jets and CF-100 night fighters. He could fly just about anything. Brilliant pilot and a really funny, kind man. Unless you let the airplane get out of trim, then he'd whack the back of your head. Well, I sure learned a lot about flying in airplanes from him. He ran a wonderful ground school, that's for sure. And he could fly like nobody's business. He just made it look so easy. Never was for me. I've always been kind of a lame duck pilot. Good enough not to get in any trouble, but smart enough not to try anything I knew I couldn't do well. I'll just back off on the throttle a hair, if it allows me to. Oh, it keeps wanting to go up to full throttle. I wonder why. Oh, okay. There we go. Let's just fly over the town a bit. That would be Idlewild Drive there, I think. Yeah. I remember we saw an accident, a bad one, when we were flying over here one day. We were just flying towards the downtown area. There on Idlewild, some lady rolled her car right onto the boulevard. It was a horrible thing to see. Anyway, more pleasant thoughts. This sort of looks like Saskatoon. It's supposed to be photogrammatic, so it does look like Saskatoon, at least to a degree. But the trees have too many leaves on them for wintertime. don't know if you spend any time in Canada, but by the time the December rolls around, poplar trees, elm trees, they are bare. It's the only time you can see the ground from the air, because it's so bare when you're there. I'm a poet and you didn't know it. Alrighty. Let's just circle along and see what we got over here. Is this a downtown area? This looks pretty good. I don't know if it's... Is it the photogrammatic? I'm not sure. Let's try a roll, or a roll to the left, not a complete roll, just kind of a... Just to see what the roll rate's like. Moving my head right, moving it left, moving it in a circle. Okay, so the headset keeps up with my head movement. That's good, because I really thought, yeesh, the first time I tried this, I didn't have the settings figured out, and I'm running an old CPU, an Intel 9900. It's locked at 3.1 gigahertz, can't be overclocked. I've got 32 gigs of RAM and an Nvidia 3090 processor, which isn't bad. Oh, yeah, this is photogrammatic. Looking out the right side there, I can see the famous Bessborough Hotel, a Canadian Pacific Railroad hotel built in the 30s. Pretty beautiful. Many, many years ago, when dirt was new and I was young, we had our grade 12 graduation dinner and dance there. It's quite a moment. All right, so I'm rolling, and it rolls like a tri-pacer should. I mean, the tri-pacer was a good rolling airplane. Did have lots of adverse yaw. Watch this. See how it? Yeah, the nose wants to kind of swing in the opposite direction. If you use a little rudder with it, you can make quite a nice coordinated turn. But I find that it's a bit trickier to fly than my real one was. Flying in VR makes it easier because it's more like flying a real airplane, but here I'm tracking around, and you should be able to go around the circle fast enough to hit your own wake turbulence, but I don't know if wake turbulence is modeled here or if I'm just not good enough to get there. Everything looks a little bit bright down there. I might have to adjust the graphics. Okay, so as we head back towards the airport, here are my reactions. First, I didn't think I'd be able to play Flight Sim 2024 on my i9900 with an old Nvidia 3090. Now granted, that's only a 4-year-old GPU, and it's a great GPU, but still, everybody's saying how you need a 5090 for this game and a fast processor, and I'll admit that helps. I'm not exactly sure what my frame rate is, but I'm guessing it's somewhere around 30, because there's no lag. I don't feel any nausea or jerkiness, but it certainly doesn't feel like 40 frames per second. Oh, look at the cars on the streets. I do love that. That adds a whole element of verisimilitude, he said pompously. All right, we're going to line up on that runway over there. Get the speed down below 80. Okay. We'll just trim for that. I'll put some flaps on. I think we've got the runway made even with flaps on. Even with flaps on, we should be all right. We'll just hold it at about 60, 65, 70. Good approach speed. Then as we cross the threshold, hopefully I'll be able to hold the center line. I've never done it yet, but this, hope springs eternal in the human breast. All right, let's just back off on this. Approach is pretty good. Oh, there was a little laggy jink there. Center line looks good, looks good. Nose straight, wheel down. No, I wanted to jump to the left like that when the wheel came down. Maybe I had a little left rudder in. Yeah, my brakes aren't working. Okay, well, I think we'll just park here. I'm sure no one will mind. The guys at the tower at YXE are as nice of folks, guys and gals, as you'd ever want to meet. But you certainly wouldn't want to leave your airplane parked on the runway at YXE unless it was an emergency and on fire or something. Otherwise, you're going to be asked to give them a call and explain yourself. All right. Here's my initial reactions. Better than I expected. I'm going to put a 5070 Ti card in it because my buddy vrflightsimguy tested one on his channel, and I think he was surprised by it. I think the new Nvidia cards with their SSSS4 or whatever it is do pretty good in Flight Sim 2024. So when I flop that in, if we see a big difference, I will certainly let you know, and I'm going to do some more videos. I'm going to check some more airplanes out. But what do you think of the Piper Tri-Pacer? It's a nice little airplane, and it cruises along at 150 and 120 miles an hour without too much stress, and fairly easy to land, fairly easy to take off. It's a nice let's fart around in the airplane for Flight Sim 2024. And that's about all I have to say for today. So let me get the headset off and stop the video. But thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I don't have a large membership base or a large fan base, but boy, those of you who stick with me, I really appreciate it. You are the few, the proud, the extraordinarily tolerant. But I hope you find some value in these videos. And if you do, please hit like, and maybe even, if I dare hope, oh, let me dare, even if I dare hope, maybe hit subscribe. And come back for the next video on the Pimax Super Ultrawide right here with you on YouTube.